Go. Happy
birthday to Off the Script.
Happy birthday to the Off the Script podcast featuring Jermaine Suleman
Crowd goes wild.
and Joe Flynn.
Always abbreviates it for some reason.
Joe Flynn. Big JD Flynn. Excellent.
Joseph.
Well, it's funny. Simon's missus used to call me Jez.
Big Jezza.
So,
guys, welcome to the 50th episode of Off the Script. Wow, we done it. We hit half of 100. And in that time, I have aged about 5 years, I feel like.
Jack's gained about 100 pounds.
Yeah, Jack has mutated. His background is actually a picture of him currently. That's him holding in his farts. Right.
Why don't you take a look, Jack? See what's behind you.
For listeners at home, Jack's background is just Ronnie Coleman's glutes. Joe has the usual Off the Script logo background, and I'm floating through the void of the what do you call it? The Aurora Borealis. That's what it is, right?
Well, with your hood on, you look like a Dribbit from Hot Fuzz. So, you know.
For the greater good.
Greater good.
For the greater good.
She wanted to build a farm shop. No, not happening.
Yard.
So we told her. Yeah. Now 50 episodes. That's fucking mad. I think Jack was like episode number 4 first.
Yeah,
We've
you
had
the
him like
early ones.
3 times since or something.
Yeah.
Mm.
We've come a long way in that time. I'm almost when we started it. I just finished my prep pretty much, and we're at 50 episodes, and I mean it's not long now until I actually jump back in one, and Jack does as well. I imagine. So we've almost come full circle. Maybe by episode 100, it'll be the end of both mine and Jack's preps again, and we'll be doing the same thing all over again.
We might be retired.
Yes,
we're building a career.
Yeah, I mean, but it depends how many hiatuses we have. Because
none, hopefully.
Can be like,
welcome to the Off the Script podcast.
Yeah. I was thinking about this the other day. Like, we could be doing this in 20 years.
Yeah, it's true. You're not wrong.
It's so fucking weird.
Yeah,
because they're relatively new, right? They've only been around for like 10 years-ish.
Yeah.
But not everyone's been doing it for 10 years. So it's like, imagine last uploaded 20 years ago.
Well, imagine if we like in the 18 years time, right? 20 years after we all started and we did the first Off the Script with Jack, even like his 4th episode, we get Jack back on. Jack's like a seasoned pro doing his last few seasons at the Mr. O. He's there. He's in the top call out. But
the age of 44.
Yeah, yeah. When Jack's got on in his years, when I've probably stopped bodybuilding because I've like torn both my pecs or something.
You got 12 kids.
Yeah, 12.
I don't know. You're a player.
Sure, 12 kids, 8 of which I don't know about, and Joe's
still talking about maybe getting on stage one time. His colitis is okay for 3 months.
Joe is still bald, but now he's got a big bushy beard.
It's funny if I actually had hair when I was like 44.
You just reversed.
You have long hair.
Benjamin Button. Yeah.
It's just braided.
I might dreadlock just my eyebrow or something.
That's fucked up.
Attach it all together.
And then dip dye it like mine.
No way.
Yeah, so what?
Hang on, I was thinking about doing a Matt Tufton at some point and dyeing the beard.
Yeah, do it, man.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know. I need a tan first.
What are we saying? Like a fluorescent pink or what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to go, well, I've already got the orange for the script, so I might go the black and white stripes.
Nice. Maybe if we end up actually doing bets and stuff for shows, you can do that.
We need finances for that.
We do, yeah. To buy the the bleach and the hair dye. Yeah, sure, can do. We need a business account for Off the Script. Well, maybe when we eventually get some clothing off the ground. Hint, hint.
Yeah.
For anyone who's watching, hint, hint.
Yeah, but yeah, shameless plug. If the people want to like the episode, it helps us out. So there you go.
Yeah. And if you guys
subscribe, motherfuckers. There's no, we've got like 44,000 views.
isn't that crazy?
But
Yeah.
where's the subs?
Yeah, it's true. We've got like
We've got like 4 times the amount needed to start monetizing videos, but we're only a third of the way there, subscribers wise.
Yeah.
So fucking subscribe, man.
Please, all the people at home, on the Stairmaster, on the cross trainer, on the treadmill, on your walk, in your set. Probably not in your set, because if you're listening to us in your set, you're not doing training, right?
Having a shag on the toilet.
Yeah.
Wherever you're in Ronnie Coleman's glutes.
I like to imagine that when you've said that as a joke now, but I like to imagine someone actually is out there listening to us right now while they're shagging, and then they just
who needs a slow jam when you got us?
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Get some in the mood, man.
Sultry tones.
Welcome back to the Off Script.
Yeah.
There goes my erection again.
Yeah.
Jack, it's been a while since you've been on. What's occurring, bud? What's going on?
Not much, man. I'm just still living it and breathing bodybuilding, mate. And as you know, with doing that, everything is just literally Groundhog Day. But I wouldn't have it any other way. What's cool is I've been able to go to shows now, and shows have been able to have audiences, which has been cool. So obviously we caught up this weekend just gone. That's pretty cool. So I'm enjoying that, because prior to that, obviously, when you've spent a long time in the lockdown, just training on your own, training in your home gyms and whatnot, you just feel a bit isolated from the community. And that's when I suppose bodybuilding has felt like a lonelier sport. Not like it's been a massive hassle, but it's been really good to see just familiar faces at shows and just go, right, cool, you know. Other people, basically.
Yeah. Shout out to the original BNBF Midlands. Other Jack, and Matt was also there. There's a few other people who are floating around as well. But yeah, glad that I went, and pleasure speaking.
Yeah. It was nice to have a boobly tea as well.
It was, yes. My big cheese drink, yes.
Oh, that was.
That was Molly's idea, and we all had one except from Mo. She's just that was Mo all over.
I even offered her my drink. I was like, "Do you want to try it?" She was like, "No." I'm like, what you?
No, she'd order a kebab and not eat it. And I'm like, wow, that's just a waste.
Blasphemy.
I wonder.
And then I'm like, I've got to eat a full kebab now.
Yeah.
I think that every time she has these thoughts,
she does it for you, Jack. Really, she was wanting to get extra massive.
She's like, you're still skinny, man. Just fucking eat.
She doesn't want to accidentally just become 240 pounds or something. You know, it's understandable. You know, muscle comes on quick for some girls. You know, understand. That's so. Yeah, Jack, you're now off season still 230 pounds, if I'm correct.
Yeah. 230.8 this morning to be exact. So yeah, that's quite nice. It's the leanest I've been at this weight for sure. You know, I've been heavier than this natural, but I was so fat. I don't know if you've ever seen any photos. I was very, very fat. So I'm glad I can actually be at this weight and not be a fat mess. That's an achievement in itself. I can actually walk without being out of breath at this weight, which is also great. And I'm not spending half an hour wiping my arse, which is also great.
Did you
before we carry on, you stand up and wipe or sit down?
Oh, we're doing this. All right.
Right. Okay. I've never ever heard of anyone standing up and wiping.
Neither have I.
Before this whole debate came out, and I'm like, people stand up and wipe. How I'm not saying that a fucking.
How is that easier? How is that easier?
I think I did that until I was about 6.
No, standing and wiping your ass. How is that any?
Oh no! How can you get in there? Really?
Unless you go from the front, but then you're just wiping shit up into your sack. So
Yes, you are.
I don't know. I have no clue.
You're just going to encourage dingleberries, which is just not what we want, is
Exactly.
No, sit down all the way.
Sit
Absolutely.
down.
Absolutely.
You know, if you go for a piss in the middle of the night, do you sit down?
Yes.
I don't get out of bed.
It's a colostomy bag.
Yeah.
Just got like one of those old
nappy
bedpans.
Oh yeah,
The bed.
solid steel. Yeah.
You just wake up Mole in the night with the sound of piss on just the fucking metal pan. Excellent.
He's got a tube attached from the bedroom all the way to the toilet.
She's like, it's raining inside. Oh, fuck. No, when I'm getting up at night, it's literally, I need to piss. So I'm getting up, running. And as soon as I've entered the bathroom, I'm pissing, whether I like it or not.
Excellent.
So I have no time to sit down and get comfortable.
Like a walk-in bathroom, like a wet room.
Well,
like that.
No, I do know.
We're at caravan camp or something.
Okay, so what else do we want to cover in regards to Jack? You're competing next year, yes?
Hopefully, all going well. I'm going to compete and see how I get on with the assisted stage, the non-tested feds.
Very exciting.
PCA, NABA, Subro.
Well, the pro card's gone, so the priority is 2 bros. If depending on how the season goes, it'd be nice to do a PCA. I've always wanted to see, because I like PCA shows. I've always wanted to compete in one of them, because obviously you won't get the opportunity once you become pro. So it'd be nice to at some point, if not this season or at some point, compete in a PCA one. But yeah, the priority has to be 2 bros, man, because that's where the aim is.
I'm very excited to come watch the 2 bros. Granted, I probably won't look excited at the time because I'll probably be like 2 weeks out or something. But I'm very excited to watch it nonetheless. Also, I was actually thinking about this the other day, doing a PCA show next year for the shits and gigs. So if I end up doing it, I'll let you know and figure out what show you're doing.
The worst case scenario is you get some awesome stage pictures.
Exactly. There's nothing to lose. I'm like, yeah, just turn up and it'll look cool.
Well, if you're doing one, I'll do one so we could be naked together again.
I'll get a coach's pass so I can oil you up.
We get to piss off all the glazed people backstage again. Excellent. Yes. Okay. I will be doing Midlands again.
I tell you what, watching the show on the weekend, I don't know. I'm excited. I'll just say that.
Yeah.
So.
I'm excited. The caliber is very good nowadays. We were talking about this, right? How fuck off, Siri. We were talking about how arguably a lot of the natty classes in natty shows nowadays are better, arguably, than assisted shows in terms of the caliber of competitors.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Through the lineup, yeah.
Yeah, man, because you've got people are just taking it more seriously, I find like if people are doing a prep and the natural, they seem to just be more serious about the training and nutrition, whereas someone could be on gear, they look at themselves in the gym, they are, I look decent with a pump, I'm just going to step on stage, and they just fucking do a bit of a diet, whack some time on. Mate, I've been to a show, I remember going to a few natural shows, and like it was, I think I went to a natural British show, and it was absolutely insane, and then I went to an assisted show, and it was absolutely diabolical. Like people were in condition and they didn't know how to pose, and the judges had to tell them how to pose, and I was like, holy shit. But obviously I'm not saying that it's the same with all assisted shows, of course not, because what's supposed to happen with assistants is it's supposed to help you to get to the next level. But a lot of people use assistants as a replacement for hard work, and quite often it doesn't replace the hard work because people end up just not looking as good as
well and good, putting the cherry on top of a cake, but if the cake is literally a turd, what's the point?
Well, yeah, some people use assistants to put that first layer on, whereas where it should be that. Honestly,
with people getting into fitness generally, and they're like them thinking supplementation is going to give them all the results they want.
Well, absolutely, mate. Lean whey with added green tea extract. That's the one.
Yeah, exactly. Bit of creatine, Bob's your uncle.
Yeah, like I don't know, like a lot of people again, like they'll see it as a shortcut. But for me, when I became a sister, I was like, I'm going to be using a system. I really cannot fucking miss a beat because I'm not taking risks. I'm not taking this assistance to get the results a natural person could get. Like, it's completely fucking pointless. So for me,
it shows, man, as well. Like when I saw you this weekend, I was like, Jesus Christ, he's eaten himself multiple times. And that mindset, I think, very much translates for you, especially when you consider you've literally been in the off season the same amount of time, if not less than I have.
Pretty much the same amount of time. I think you ended your season like a couple of weeks before mine.
Yeah,
like 2 to 4 weeks, whatever. So pretty much the same time, man.
Yeah.
And yeah, like literally, I'm literally approaching this like I'm on a time limit, because I am to some degree, but I'm approaching like the time is running out. Like I've got very limited opportunities, because that's what keeps you motivated on prep, just knowing like, oh, there's so many weeks left, and in an off season, people will go into an off season and go, oh, I've got a whole year, I can fucking chill out, man. And take the foot off the gas pedal. And I didn't want to take 2 years off and make not 2 years worth of progress. I was making some quite outrageous goals, really, and I'm not one of those guys that just talk shit. I want to do this, I want to do that. I needed to follow that up. If I'm going to put that out there, I'm not going to fucking humiliate myself by turning up on stage and I've put on like a couple of pounds of muscle when I've started steroids. That's just not going to happen. Like I've approached this like, again, I need to fucking have every opportunity go to plan to progress.
You were in the mid 170s, weren't you, last time you were on stage, I think, or something like that?
I was actually 170, and I actually got a couple of those at 168.
Wow.
But yeah. So it was averaging around about 170 though.
So you're thinking next time, what will you be up on your original stage weight? Like 20 pounds?
I want to be 40 pounds up, man. And again, it's quite a big thing to say. I do think it's realistic. Just because I've done a diet now and I've seen how I look. I dieted down to 224. I saw how I look. Bear in mind, I've got another year left. I was like, I could potentially be on stage at 210, I think that is viable. I don't think that's an outrageous thing to say. I don't think that is completely like crazy to say. I think that is a viable thing, but obviously, like I said, I've got to work for that. I can't just say it. I've got to be really working hard and doing everything I can do, and that's going to land me in the mid heavies. And the two classes that usually win the pro cards are heavyweights and super heavies, so I want to be absolutely peeled at 210 pounds.
Wow.
Really.
I think as well, like having seen you as well this weekend in person, you come across as a giant killer. Like your muscle bellies, like how you're shaped as well. I think in the amateurs,
he's a fucking tank, bro.
I think in the amateurs, you're going to do some fucking damage. Like
I really do appreciate that, man. I really do. Next year, the main thing for next year is seeing how I get on, man, and then see where I stand. Because let's be honest, I do have no idea of how I'm going to do, because I've never done a prep assessment. I've got, it's been a long time. I need to see how far I am off the goal. I might be at the goal. I don't know. I'm definitely not going to do like a blessing and just go in, You know, when he went into his first season as a pro saying, I'm going to win all these fucking shows when he's got no fucking clue how he's going to do. I'm definitely optimistic for next season, but it's literally just seeing the standard that I'm at, and I'm just going to, you know, bring the best I could possibly bring, really.
That is somewhat relatable for my position as well. Since I mean, weirdly, we've almost mirrored what the fuck we're doing these past like couple of years in terms of like going into off season and show season. So for me, that the goal is as close to or on the nail with 190. That is like the goal in my head. So I think like me and Joe, we've talked about it previously before multiple times. I think me being, I mean, optimistic and being like and not like completely out of the realm of possibility, me being like 14 pounds up on my previous stage weight and going into a prep with the intent to actually hold the muscle as well. I make no, don't get me mistaken, I was in good nick for a first-time competitor. I thought I was good, but there was a lot of things I could have done better. And
well, I don't actually think your last stage weight was an accurate reflection of where you were 6 weeks before the show.
Yeah,
because obviously you had to force the prep because of time limit.
Yeah,
and I think 14 pounds is going to be fine. I think you're going to be heavier than you think you are on stage. So
yeah, it seems viable, man. And obviously you're at a young age as well. Your ability to gain muscle, you know, you're still at that age where you're making the newbie gains, you know. That in addition to obviously not really over dieted, but not being rushed, so to speak, being in a better position to maintain muscle. I think it's a very viable goal, man. Yeah. It really is. And I think it's very important to say goals at the upper limit. It really fucking is, and not say, oh, I'm going to put on a couple of pounds, man, because you're not really going to be very motivated to do your fucking best, to do your upper limit every fucking time, man. If your goals are quite low, you know, you probably are going to only put on a couple of pounds, realistically.
That was a big thing as well. Like I was thinking about this the other day in regards to like training environments and stuff. Like I've just moved to Ultraflex, but the blessing I had for the most part of this off season was being at Ultimate. If I'm honest, being able to actually off season at Ultimate, I was just training basically around people who were all of like a more old school approach and mentality in regards to getting big. And a lot of these guys are people who are assisted, and like whether or not I agree necessarily with some of their training methods, they train like fucking animals. So like being around that environment, being around people like Sai, who's hack squatting 5+ plates, like with good reps as well, like and people who can take it to that level and that extreme, that has definitely had an impact on my progression this off season. I could have very easily not pushed in terms of food and weight anywhere near as much as I have, and I maintain that I guarantee I would not have made the progress I've made. And like even if, let's say, from like right now this day I had to drop to stage weight and do that, like, and basically drop the same amount of weight again, I'd still be like 10 to 14 pounds heavier on stage, like still. Like realistically, and that's considering me over dieting, you know, on
a 6'2" frame as well.
6'1", yeah, for sure.
I'll just add an extra inch.
Yeah,
I'll do that.
Yeah, I've got the somewhat illusion of height, I think, as well, which is on my side. But yeah, it's just a case of filling out my frame. So very excited also to step on stage and see where we're at.
I'm just gonna come and rebound hard again, start looking like my old self, analyze, and go from there.
Be objective.
Quite funny. I was looking at some of the pictures and comparing myself to some people who've competed at the Midlands before, and obviously it's pictures you don't know, but not that far off, especially from the back in terms of actual development. And to say that, consider I've been suboptimal for 2 years. Just makes me think like, okay, maybe I'm too harsh on myself, things like that. I don't know.
Interesting. I think partly that as well. It's difficult to say though with something like that, because like we're talking in the future, you get them on stage, and the standard, as we've seen, has just improved year on year on year. So it'll be very interesting to see where we're at in terms of amateur natural bodybuilding in 2 years.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And this is the thing, bodybuilding is so unpredictable. It really, really is. Realistically, we aren't going to know how we're going to do on stage.
No.
And this is why you've got to just give it a go. Obviously, having time to improve and make improvements, but you can't shy away from the stage forever. A lot of people will always think, I'm not going to be ready. I'm not going to be ready. See how you get on, because you might do better than you expect. That was my first season. My first season when I competed, I just wanted to just see how I did. I want to take part, and I actually did better than I expected. I was like, holy shit, you know? And it's the same for most people, man. See where you land, see if you enjoy it first, see where you land, and then assess from there. Do you want to?
That's something that I remember, I think, as well, saying to you, Jack, in 2019. I was like, because I remember you asking me like, why are you doing juniors? and partly because of the cutoff, but also like for me, I was like, I want to actually see where I stack up. This isn't like a one and done thing for me. I want to see what we can do next time, like what we need to do to actually compete with some of these animals like yourself. So yeah, it'll be interesting, man. I'm excited. Let's pull up Instagram as well while we're here, so we can actually see some stuff potentially from this weekend. Might be a good idea. Just for context for people out there.
Yeah.
There's Alexandra.
Oh yes.
Who?
Alexander.
Alexander.
Yeah.
Yes. Indeed. I watched this set earlier. It's quite the set, indeed. Mr. Morris.
You robbed my trousers as well.
Throw out some names of people from this weekend. Actually, let's just go on the BNBF page.
Yeah, go on there. Go on show shoots or something. They got a list of class winners anyway. So.
Oh, yeah, on show shoots.
Yeah.
We definitely need to talk about Theo. Obviously, you stole the show. Mate. Like this is what we need to talk about with natural competitors. Like
this is where we're at now. This is you know,
this guy is potentially going to win his pro card, and he's got so much density for someone who's natural. He's, you know, it reminds me of Suleman, where, you know, when he literally took over all of that show when we competed, and
went and did PCA and won that as well.
Exactly. Because, you know, he was dense, conditioned, and regardless of if you're a sissy or not, that's going to fucking win shows, man.
Yeah. The best combination of all.
Yeah, and usually when a natural competitor builds muscle and a decent amount, it's going to look very mature and very sort of hardened, because that's exactly what it is. It's hardened, and that's what we've seen from Theo. So I think he's looked good for a qualifier, you know, decent condition. If he hardens up, I think he is in the running to get everything he wants after the season, which is...
What I saw like this weekend and what I've seen since as well, it's clear that like he has plenty left in the tank. So I'm very excited to see what he looks like over the rest of this season. Shout out to you, Theo. Moving on to, this was a junior winner. This was in a class of one, so he was the only person, but like, still, this is something that, like, in my head in 2019, like, this is something that I could have seen at, like, a final, potentially.
Yeah. He wasn't particularly, like, had crazy amounts of muscle, but what was great about him was the amount of balance that he had.
Yeah, he was put together very well.
And he was put together very well. He had a nice shape. And that in itself just says that he's got a lot of potential for the future. So again, you know, just carrying on, bringing in condition, he could hold up his own in the final.
He didn't look out of place, that's for sure.
No,
out of place.
No, absolutely.
Moving on to the teen, which blew a lot of people away.
Yeah,
Man.
this was crazy. This was absolutely crazy. The teens.
I had the
man.
pleasure of
What the
seeing
fuck?
him before as well, and he's improved since last time he was on stage a few weeks ago. So
Yeah, man. This is absolutely, that's the standard of a teenage competitor. When I competed as a teen, as a natural, the standard definitely was not there, you know. At this level, you know, this is when you look at teens and juniors, that's the glimpse of the future of natural bodybuilding.
Well, put it this way, right? Like, I think in the past, because there's not been a platform or any sort of figures in the natural bodybuilding world that are at a young age, and then you got guys like AJ and yourself and Jack Thorburn as well, who've got the platform, who've got great success. I think some younger guys are sticking with the natural process for longer, whereas someone like who would have competed with the potential of this guy, of James, would have gone assisted and took more years away from a stage before turning up at a Two Rows or UK BFF show and placing fourth.
I think another thing is there's more knowledge out there now.
Yeah, exactly.
There definitely is more knowledge out there. Again, with people like you mentioned, just on Instagram. There's loads of people just putting out very valuable content, and you know, young guys like him can pick this up and actually approach their full seasons and make less mistakes than someone who's just getting into bodybuilding for the first time. You know, a few years ago, like, you know, he's doing, I think the education that's out there is just creating a better standard of natural competitors, because obviously all you've got as a natural competitor is your approach, essentially, and time. So if your approach is spot on, you're going to get yourself to a very good standard.
absolutely.
But
and the crazy part is that he, at that show I watched a couple of weeks ago, he was not the first place either.
Yeah, that's mental. Molly showed me the first place, and it was like, it's upsetting, really.
This is another guy, Lewis. I had the pleasure of seeing him in person. If he's watching this, shout to you, Lewis. This was mind blowing. Like, again, similar to James, structure mind boggling. Like
the muscle bellies, man, just standing there, you can see that. Very, very small waist, you know, big wide chest. Just a good set of shoulders on him for a teenager. Well, a lot of, you know, crazy, really, really good shape. You probably do good if you wanted to in classic, if that's where you wanted to take it. Just the structure's there. A lot of people who do well potentially in classic make very good natural bodybuilders. You know?
So this is something for anyone out there who's on the other side of bodybuilding, doesn't necessarily pay too much attention to natural bodybuilding. Take a look at some of these kids and what they're doing, because it's like
teenagers.
Yeah, this is like 18, 19-year-olds who are out here looking like this.
Yeah, I mean, people say you can't gain muscle as a natural, or you can't get in a decent shape. These guys have literally been training for a matter of years, you know, and have been able to build a standard to their physique that most people are just happy with, you know, would be happy with, to just get to that standard, you know, and that this is just the beginning of the journey for them. Yeah, which is exciting.
Yeah, that's a big career ahead of these kids. So
absolutely, man.
Shout out to these people that we've been looking at. So shall we get on to some questions or something like that?
Yep.
Excellent.
First of all, coming from, has Joe found a rival for his planned food challenge at the Arnold? I have not.
Well, peak off season, I don't think I can. Physically, I don't think I have the stomach. And what are we going to be eating anyway? Like the pro.
I haven't decided yet.
Have like the booths or what? What are we doing?
I've not decided. I don't want to do it from event food, so it's going to be something before or after one of the days. But I'm not doing like how many grenade bars can you eat or something like that.
Oh man,
because it'll be an A&E. Like,
it's not a good time, though, isn't it, man? Fuck.
What is reasonable though? What would you consider reasonable? Bear in mind, you are coming off the back of being ill.
Do you know what? I reckon.
Take me when I'm weak. Come on.
Can you eat £50 worth of Five Guys?
What is that? What would that equate to?
It's like 5 burgers and 5 fries.
Maybe.
Fuck, I don't know, man. What's on the burger there?
Well, you choose. It's like say £50.
Salad wrap, like the Rich Piano. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Sponsoring us.
Pure salad, extra salad, as much salad as you can get on the
Cajun salad. Yeah.
Those fries are filling though, man.
Yeah, they are. Fuck, I think the fries would kill me. 5 portions of Five Guys fries.
Even like normal, like quote unquote small is like quite a big portion.
I reckon I could do £50 worth of McDonald's.
That's horrible. That is horrible.
Literally 50 burgers then.
Yeah. Or 50. I could do 50 portions of their fries.
Yeah, they've got like 2 chips in their portion.
Yeah, they die in hospital.
They are nice, but you know.
Are they worth dying for?
No. I mean,
maybe like some sort of pizza or something, maybe. There's probably got to be like some like 20-inch pizza thing near Birmingham.
I'll have a look if there's an actual like food challenge at any restaurant near the arena.
Okay. Yeah, I don't. Are
you interested, Jack?
What's the food challenge?
Mm-hmm.
By that time, the way my food's going up, I'll probably be on about 5,000 calories a day, which would kill me inside anyway. That's my food challenge as it is. After prep, I would probably eat an entire cow. So that's the thing. I've actually done a few food challenges after prep. Like I'm on a few walls of fame for just eating fucking things fast.
To go to, there's that place that Jamie went to, isn't there, Joe? Ages ago, he did that food challenge with that professional.
Oh yeah. I'm not going all the way to fucking Derby.
It's like a 30-inch pizza. It was something ridiculous. It was
30-inch pizza.
It was the table, man. It was ridiculous.
That's doable. That's doable.
I don't know, man.
Like you've got to prepare for it days in advance, man.
You've got to fast. It's like getting ready for like a.
You've got to fast and expand your stomach as well. So drink a lot of water. I've heard. You know,
the one that killed me to watch was I don't know if either of you watched Eddie Hall's eating program.
Yes.
Is that fucking ice cream one?
Oh my god!
It's a sink full of ice cream.
I've done something similar to that. I've done a bathtub of ice cream, and I've had to eat it in like 20 minutes. I ate it in 7. This was after prep. This is actually I have a t-shirt which I proudly wear.
Was this when you were in America still?
This was actually when I got back from America. When I ate in America, I probably should have done food challenges because I ate so fucking much, man. I put on like 20 pounds in 4 days, as I'm sure I told you, man. But I ate that much, I shat myself. It's just
there's just no space. Something had to go.
You told that story at the weekend.
And then I just carried on eating. I shat myself, changed my trousers, and ordered an Uber to another restaurant. And that's not really a good advert for bodybuilding, but
the close.
That's what happens when you over diet, man. Do not over diet, or else.
I shat myself on the V squat throwing away my underwear, but that's the extent of.
That's hot.
Yeah, thank you, man. Thank you.
That's hot as fuck, bro.
The hamstring.
Yeah, ultimately.
Oh man, you know what? Like, when I'm about to do a heavy leg press or something like that, I always try to get the farts out because they're going to be a lot louder in the middle of a set, you know. And have you ever heard a mid-set fart? It just comes out with full velocity, man.
It doesn't sound safe.
Oh no, it doesn't. It screams. It screams over the music. You know, it's like ah, and then people are just turning their heads. I'm like,
I love how I've just completely just forgotten the fact that you're talking out of Ronnie Collins' ass.
It's perfect.
Oh,
I might put like fucking £5 notes in there, man.
yeah. You'll never get them back.
No, you won't, man. They're gone forever.
You put your hand in there.
How to set up a leg session.
Okay.
What? God damn it.
Ooh, Jack, do you want to go first? Do you want to chime in first with that?
So I quite like pre-exhausting some shit, man.
Me too.
I pre-exhaust my quads with leg extensions. I think leg day tradition, before I carry on, always has to start with adductors. Really, I love that. I think you've got to start with adductors because they are such a simple thing that can contribute to so much to your leg. You know, if you put adductors in at the end, you're probably going to train them like a pussy, man. So you put them in at the start, and once you're nice and strong, get a nice juicy pump ready for the compounds. You know, you're going to have nice thick legs if you do that over time. I pre-exhaust with some extensions and some leg curls, a couple of sets on each. I like to have some nice pauses so that you're not wrecking your joints. So that will warm up, obviously, the muscles and stuff like that. Get a nice, decent pump. And also it will save your joints a little bit so you're not going stupidly fucking heavy on your compounds. And then I like to throw in a couple of compounds. And then, so that would be like a squat variant and a leg press variant. And then finish up with another isolation on the hamstrings and then glute drive and some calves. And that's how I personally love to do mine.
I think mine is somewhat similar starting. I think it's I put a picture on my story earlier and I think it's actually quite relevant. Ever since pretty much I started putting adductors in at the start and really progressing them. I had them at the end before, and I to be fair, it's not like I was pushing on those sets. I was rinsing them. I was doing the stack plus plates, you know, with good form. But now I'm like rinsing them like even more in terms of low down reps, like doing 2 straight sets, 12 to 15, and I'm adding 40 kg on top of the stack. And if you look at my legs now versus last year when I was just doing like the stack for a couple of sets. Apologies, viewers. The difference is clear. So I'm a big fan of adductors, and typically what you see like on stage, what happens in the front shots is that some people might be a bit weak on quads, and that's fine if you've got good adductors. If you're weak on quads and you've got no adductors, you have no legs from the front.
Yep,
like,
true.
And if
you have no girth,
if you have good quads and good adductors on stage, it's lights out. So I always start with adductors. Big fan of that. Follow that up with a hamstring curl. Always, like I've just kept that in all the way. Seated hamstring curl, lock myself in nice and tight. Build up, warm up sets. At the minute, I'm only doing 1 set. Actually, reason being is that I then put in actually I'll come around to that when we get to it. Then move on to a hack squat or a squat power movement. No pre-exhaust actually for quads. I just go straight in. I do plenty of feeder sets and stuff. And I mean, if you guys have probably watched my sets more recently on the Cybex at Ultraflex, I'm not pushing out on those sets like rinsing eccentrics and stuff like that is very big for me. And I've got my intensity now to the point where I'm progressing off of doing like 5 sets of total quad work over the course of a workout, over the course of actually 6 days. So 1 set there, move on to a leg press, banded leg press, green bands, working, load up on that. Not like a super high wide like stance, like mid on the platform on the plate. And that's like following, that's immediately following a Cybex hack. So like my quads after those 2 sets are already fucked. Following that, moving on to either a single leg press. I know, slightly odd doing 2 leg presses back to back, but I quite like at the minute doing a single leg press on. There's actually like a single leg press machine in Ultraflex, which is fucking sick, and doing like actually high repetition of work on that, so 24 reps plus per leg. It's either that or doing lunges, which is something that I'm going to be potentially putting in every other rotation. Depends how much I hate myself. And following that, for me, I then have my quads, like quad work. So that will be 2 sets of leg extensions there. And then following that, I'll move on to, I guess the only sort of glutey workout like movement at all over the course of the workout, which is a dumbbell RDL or stiff leg deadlift, which I think I've posted a couple of times, but like rinsing those. And at the end of the workout, like after you've done all those sets and you go on to doing that for your like hamstring movement, you can't pick up anywhere near as much load, and by the end of it, your cardio is fucked as well. Like having to brace and come all the way up multiple times like that at the end of the workout, you're fucked. So that's how I set up currently, and carbs at the end, of course. Of course, not that actually fucking does anything for me. Stay the same. But
have you ever tried carbs at the start of your workout?
I have, yes.
How'd you find that?
It was all right. Progression and actually doing it didn't feel dissimilar. I've always had, to be fair, issues with calves. Well, I've had issues since I was 18 with calves generally, because I have some neuromuscular issues as a like response to me dislocating my left ankle. So my left ankle has never quite been the same in terms of proprioception. Like it's my flexion at a certain point on like the eccentric on a calf raise, my calf muscle will just cut out on my left side. It doesn't past a certain point, it doesn't contract, and then it's just on the, I guess, slightly weakened tendon and ligament on that side. So I can't like necessarily rinse calves like I can a lot of movements, which is annoying. I would if I could. But
they're not that shit though. But I just take the piss just because I can.
Oh yeah, so. It's funny. And also, I am like a taller guy, so to have good calves on a 6'1" frame is going to be something that would take a long time anyway.
Yeah.
But it's not like right now I'm not using the stack plus plates, you know, for calves, but it's just not doing a lot. Feels bad, man.
I got 2 ways of doing legs. So I either start number 1, hamstring curl, leg extension, squat, press, hamstring curl, and adductor and calves, or adductor, hamstring curl, extension, squat, leg press, calves. That's it really. It all depends. If I do adductors first, it means that the leg press is going to be the main lift for the day.
Okay.
If I do hamstrings first, then the squat's going to be the main lift for the day. So.
Yeah, I also, I don't know about you guys, but I definitely insist on leg days having unilateral movement. Like
I think if you have an imbalance noticeable, yeah.
I think even if you don't, I'm obviously I do, because I have a fucked ankle, but I'm adamant, like for most people, like even clients, for example, that they have at least some unilateral working of some kind, or some.
I'm just one of them who I can't be asked to use a cuff lateral, so I'm certainly not doing a single leg press.
Fair enough.
So
Fair enough. That was something that I kept in though from prep. I thought,
yeah, you did it.
Leg press.
It's worked for you, so
It has indeed. Next question.
It's one from Malt actually.
Oh.
One of 2. Paint a wall with your knees or your face.
My knees.
I'm gonna go face.
I'm gonna get to the top.
Oh shit. No, I'm just gonna do like a flying kung fu knee to the ceiling. Yeah. Like Bruce.
With no wall left. The pain.
My leg might go through the plaster wall or whatever, but hey,
Yeah.
is what.
But no, face.
Well,
I'll probably go face, man, because you get a bit of paint there.
to be fair, it could be considered a piece of art if you just use your face as the roller and just roll your face across the wall.
If you film it, you'll go viral.
Yeah.
Film it, you'll go viral. Number one, you're anti-plastic. For some reason, people actually give a shit about them.
Yeah.
Second of all, it's creative.
Yeah.
And number three, I don't know.
You're ticking all the boxes, really, aren't you? Twitter people will love that. They'll be all over that. What's the next question?
Again, eat a jar of mayonnaise or a brick of butter.
A brick is actually a unit of measurement, isn't it?
Well, I'm just saying, like Kerrygold.
Yeah. Oh, do we mean like the whole thing, or do we mean just the sticks?
Lab. I'm going butter all day.
I don't know, man.
I think after like 3 spoons of mayonnaise from the jar, it's going to be it.
After a prep, I went through a bit of a mayonnaise phase.
I like putting mayo on everything, not just out of the jar.
Jack, what was going on?
I was eating a lot of mayonnaise, and I was like going through.
Was it used for any sexual purposes?
I was shoving the jar up my arse, and it was just coming out my mouth, and it was weird.
That South Park episode.
The fact that Mole, I hope Mole's listening to this. I hope she listens to this, so she can hear about your mayonnaise fetish. Excellent.
I think she started to boycott the podcast I go on because she's like, for fuck's sake, man. Like, why am I with this guy?
Occasionally my mum will listen, and she's horrified usually by what she...
My mum's listened to quite a few at work. There's nothing to do. So.
Unbelievable. Did she regret it?
No.
Which one did you listen to? That's always the question.
She's listened to the one with Christian and George.
Oh, Lord. Okay.
And the famous one with AJ, Christian and Jack.
Yes.
Yeah.
Indeed.
But no, it'd definitely be a brick of butter for me.
To be fair, you could probably just slide it down in one go.
Ooh.
Very quick.
Can you imagine it coming out? It
Comes
would
out
probably just slide all the way through.
Sliding
easily.
butter right down your mouth into your stomach and shitting it out whole.
Imagine how long that slab would take to digest.
It's fat, isn't it? It's just pure fat. So yeah, it would be fucking awful.
500 grams.
Yeah.
Of it. That's like what? 9 calories per gram.
Let's do the quick maths.
Quick maths.
It's like 4,100 calories.
Easy.
Of fat.
4,500, yeah. That's, tell you what, if you're doing an eating challenge, that's a quick way of getting it done.
Well, I always thought, people, if they do an eating challenge, just put olive oil on everything.
Yeah, makes sense.
It makes it boring then.
You also, though, had I remember watching the Fuad one where he was eating a bucket of, homemade food like that.
Yeah.
He was having problems.
I saw that, and I was like, "Why are you doing that? You're just making it in the worst way possible."
Just to get I don't know, a crate of Twinkies and just blend that shit up and just eat that. Surely,
I'm a savoury guy, man. Saurine is just the one.
It is. Saurine.
Always been the one.
You smash saurine, you get bored of it. Choose a different fucking flavour, man.
Banana, throw it in there.
100,000 calories of saurine.
There's
there we go, Jack. We should do a saurine challenge.
Oh, mate,
actually, I'll do that.
I could do that. I would happily be sponsored by saurine.
Over the Arnold, we just eat nothing but saurine.
Saurine's fucking phenomenal, man. If anyone's struggling to get food down and they don't have saurine in the diet, they're obviously sabotaging their own progress.
How are we going to what is going to be the protocol for the saurine consumption?
1 bar an hour.
Oh my God.
Do you know what? I can fucking do that.
I reckon I could.
Yes.
I mean, my waist might grow 12 inches and be 40 inches.
How much is a loaf of saurine? It's 80 grams of carbs. How many calories?
I don't know. top of my head.
400-ish.
So it'd be around. What would it be around? It'd be around 12. Well, for every waking hour, right? So
every week for 15 hours. It's an expert day. It's a long day.
15 hours. 15 loaves of soaring.
I can do that, man.
Oh, it's gonna look weird when we're just sat here watching the Arnold Classic Pro show, and we're just there pulling out soaring.
You're watching the pro show.
Yeah.
You gotta buy the tickets, bro.
I know. I'm fully intending to buy those tickets, my man.
800 calories, man. 800 calories it is.
What, per slab?
Mm.
So it's going to be 12,000 calories over 15 hours.
It's more than that. It's more than that. Surely.
No, it's mainly carbs. There's not much in it. So
800 calories. Okay.
It's just malt, right? It's just barley.
15.
I'm going to double check, but I'm pretty sure.
Okay, it's only 12. I say only 12,000. That's still like
You got 12,000 of the same food item.
Yeah, exactly. That is actually quite rough.
Or if you're feeling crazy, you could do 2 loaves an hour for 6 hours.
Fuck that. Actually, no.
Man,
I think that's probably better, isn't it?
I've done
a loaf every 30 minutes for 6 hours.
I could do that. I know I can get a loaf down.
Yeah.
I get a loaf down in 10 minutes, I reckon.
Yeah.
And that's
I don't even bother slicing it half the time.
We have to evidence that as well. We have to have people obviously filming us all individually walking around the expo or whatever, eating.
We'll all be there. So
I'll just not eat for 3 days and then I'll be sound, man.
God, Molly's gonna fucking hate you in the hotel room that night. Jeez.
I will be walking around shitting. I'll be like a snail. There's a trail of shit everywhere.
Walk on. So that's potentially a challenge that we do.
Imagine that though. Imagine being sponsored by an actual food company.
We need to make a shirt.
I would love
that challenge if we do it.
I would love that. Soreen, if you're listening, please sponsor me.
I had a friend who did when we were doing DOV when we were like 15, 16. He survived the entire weekend off Soreen. He just had like a Tesco bag just full of loads of Soreen, and that's pretty much all I see him eat. He drank some water, but apart from that, that's all.
What a clever guy! That guy's got his head screwed on.
Yeah. He's a mad lad.
Next, thinking as well, how many jammy dodgers can you eat in 10 minutes?
That's an interesting one. I've no clue because it's no water or water.
No, you get water.
Oh, okay.
With water, a lot more. That's for sure.
A lot more. I would probably choke before I fucking.
We're gonna have to have medics on standby for that one.
That'd be interesting.
So we've got 2 down. Viewers listening and at home, please comment or messages on Instagram which one you prefer. Maybe we'll do a poll when this goes live or something like that. Soreen / Jammy Dodger challenge.
Wasn't a Jammy Dodger Soreen?
But
you've just done something there.
That's filth. That is filth.
Wow, is that an erection?
These little short red pieces inside.
Oh wow.
That's something that we should try and get made. I'm sure like some of these
knockoff companies
these post treats like people like out there, the bakers out there, if you're listening, can we get those commissioned? Because that would be great.
Bodybuildingsoaring.com.
Yes, yeah. No, you can't call it soaring because it's patented. So
loaf.
Soaring jammy dodger loaf or fruit loaf, yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Malt loaf for the gains. There you go.
Yeah.
I've got one question left.
Okay.
Make your perfect burger.
Well, it's got to have an animal in.
I go for something outlandish and a bit out there, like bison or something. A bison.
A bison burger.
I'm thinking multiple cheeses.
Yes.
multiple cheeses. Maybe different meats as well.
Well, is there somewhere that you think has the perfect burger already?
No, I don't think so.
Do you know what?
Surely not.
I don't know whether it's because I was extremely high, but I went to Amsterdam and Burger King was one of the best burgers I've ever had.
Really?
Burger King in Amsterdam, and I was like, this is just
the best fries I've ever had have been at a fry place in Amsterdam. So
yeah, I went back home and I went to a Burger King and I was extremely disappointed. My hopes were there, my standard was there, and
for the Americans out there, I really enjoyed the Wendy's Baconator burger when I was over there. That was fun.
Yeah, America are great. I went to an In-N-Out.
Yeah.
That was brilliant. That was so good. Really, really good.
But Bubba Gump do I can't remember what it's called, but that's fucking great. It's like a surf and turf burger. I thought that was pretty good.
Okay, yeah.
A bit of fish and a bit of land mammal could be an option with like some mango chutney or some shit. Maybe, I don't know, something wacky.
So I can't get on board all that sweet chutney shit on a burger.
Well, tomato sauce is literally just sugar as well. It's no different.
Not a big ketchup guy.
Or barbecue.
Not a big Tommy sauce guy.
I do like barbecue.
Relish. Where do you stand on relish?
I do like chutneys, so a red onion chutney maybe.
Yeah, red onion chutney, yeah.
Something like that maybe.
That's not bad at all.
Oh, best sandwich I've ever had was bacon brie cranberry bap. They're good. That
eat for less for 99p.
That is a dangerous combination. There's a bakery in the village. I don't know if they still do it, but oh my god, filth. Especially
you got to go in there. You got to give us a review.
I will do. I'll at some point, maybe over the weekend, I'll have like an off-plan meal, and it'll be a bacon brie cranberry bap. They also have another one up north called a pasty bam, which is literally just a pastry inside a bap.
That's
so it's like doing a poker pie sandwich.
Yes, or a chip butty. It's just carbs inside carbs.
Chip butties. They aren't bad. Or a crisp butty.
Crisp sandwich. Yeah, man.
That used to be a thing when I used to go
with shitty flora on it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Do we have another question, or shall I pull up some questions?
Pull up a question, boy.
All right.
Hey, boy.
Big boy. Yeah, buddy.
It's actually Ronnie Coleman's glutes speaking. Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, buddy.
Ain't no Bob Peter.
Ain't nothing but a dingleberry, son.
All right. Do you have a post-workout shake? Anyone?
No.
Not something you do?
I have the shake in my cream of rice.
Excellent.
So yeah, I mix my shit.
I did have I had the whey in its intended form today, so I had a shake.
Holy shit!
It's been a while.
I do actually have that fairly frequently because I'm at a point now where I'm near the end of the off season and
you're still on 1,300 calories.
No, bro, I'm in the 3,000. But still, it fucks me up.
3,000.
3,500. Averaging 3,500 a day. Wow. Averaging.
You jammy bastard.
I know, right? It's great.
3,000.
Your bill must be cheap as well.
I mean, somewhat, yes. It is, yeah. Still like 250 to 280 grams of protein a day, though. So
yeah, just all fairly steak.
That. It's all filet mignon. Yeah. This is one that I got earlier on the Q&A on Instagram. Dream guest you'd have on Off the Script podcast.
Fuck.
Pick anyone.
Dream guest.
He would have been Arnold.
It would have been.
This week.
Would have been.
Oh my God.
Screw your freedom.
Fuck your freedom.
Oh, Jack, do you like my cup?
Oh, wow.
The nipples on that is amazing.
Wow. Where did you get that? That's like something you get from like Turkey or something, isn't it? Yeah.
No, my dad got it off Amazon, but who would be my best guest to have on? Honestly, because no one's done a podcast with him in English, Marcus Rawl.
Wow. That is a great shout, actually. I want him to just like...
You can have a fag and some tuna and whatever.
I want him to be like walking around the supermarket, trolley shopping, while he's on the podcast as well.
That's absolutely goals, you know. That video is absolute goals.
It's the woman's face at the end.
Yeah, just everyone's like, what the fuck is that? I've never seen anything like that.
He's quite tall as well, isn't he?
He is, yeah. He's tall and just thick.
Got a hat on as well.
Just smoking a cigarette. Yeah, good times.
What a legend.
Fuck, man.
Oh, here's a good one, which I put on my story as well. Who's going to place higher, Ian or Nick Walker?
Nick.
I think Nick. It's
I don't know.
It's difficult. Here's what I put on my story. Right, is that the judges so far this season have been rewarding the most conditioned look ultimately.
Absolutely, yeah.
Shape, and it's not just a mass game. So if that's the case all the way through this season, judging wise, it could surprise some people, the result. Even Nick looks significantly bigger on stage if he's not.
I don't think people are expecting Nick to do much.
I agree. I
just don't know because I haven't seen him compared with the top guys. And it's just like impossible because sometimes you can see someone, you're like, oh, they're going to be so great, and then they're against someone that literally displays all the flaws, picks them apart. The Arnolds is going to be very interesting, just Nick against William Bonac, really, because Bonac's like a top 3, top 4 guy.
Do you think Bonac's on the way out?
I don't know. To be fair, Bonac reminds me a little bit of Dexter, just with how consistent he is. I don't think he could get past where he is, but he's just very, very sort of consistent, really.
I think if he stays banding around like the level he's at now, I can see him being in for a few more years. I don't think he's going anywhere unless COVID's hit him like a ton of bricks this past year. But I think he's been able to train. I think. What I've seen / heard.
I think so. I think I see some photos.
Here we go. Then there's a question. Out of Nathan, James, Ian, Hunter, and Nick, who's going to place the highest? Who's going to place the lowest?
Say that again.
Like, this is crazy.
Right.
This is why I'm
write down, Jermaine. Ian. James. Nathan. Hunter. And Nick. And I'll throw Justin Rodriguez in there as well. Because he's looking fucking big right now.
So Ian, James, Nathan, Hunter, Nick.
That'll do.
Okay. Jesus Christ.
This is like, there's almost like you've got the top 5 and then you've got these guys, the usual top 5, and then you've got these guys. It's like, usually you don't really pay attention outside the top 5 of the Olympia, but now you look at the entirety of the lineup and you're like, I don't know how this is fucking going to go.
I think off the back of Nathan's win this weekend and the fact that Rolly was considerably more improved than he was previously and more like a Rolly we're used to seeing, there's an argument I could see for Nathan being on the borderline of that top 3 for sure.
Yeah. But also, we haven't seen James's package this year. I think he's the only one out of that, and we won't see it until the Olympia.
I mean, from what we've seen, if you were to extrapolate a bit from what he was last year to this year, like comparison-wise, he's almost started to develop some level of bubbly look to his density as well now.
Yeah.
Rounding off on the shoulders, the arms.
It's all the training.
That what, sorry?
The training.
Yes. And also like his side leg. I don't think there's anyone who's got like a leg like that in the side pose.
So yeah, it's,
no one has that.
His quad has a peak.
Yeah, like I that's just not a thing you really see. So
absolutely, yeah.
Also
So
an argument for him to be there.
And Nick could just come along and completely just wipe them all out, or he could just be like, you know, he could come along and be like, these guys could just expose Nick and all his weaknesses. It could go one or two ways, honestly.
I think Nick is more so out of the running for me, purely because we have no fucking clue what it's going to be like now, these guys, and also he is still so young. Same with Hunter. They're so young, and there's no way they have the level of maturity that these older guys have. That's literally the only thing the older guys would have.
I think out of all of them, Hunter has the most weaknesses.
Yeah. I think Hunter will be the last out of them all.
Purely because he's a more streamlined frame currently.
And I think above that, maybe Ian or Nick. Maybe. Again, it's very hard to say.
That's the point, right? They've been rewarding. I mean, the argument's there for Ian to technically be number 6 currently, based on the fact he just beat out everyone over the weekend. You know, so you could argue that he's currently the number 6 in the world to beat. But
then Kuklo could come in more conditioned.
Yeah.
The same package, but more conditioned, and beat Ian. Because realistically, the only thing that Ian had over Kuklo was condition, really.
Yeah. I know, obviously, Ian is a slow starter, like, for the season, so he will be, by the time the Olympic comes around, he will most likely be improved even more.
He'll be on, yeah.
And that will be his peak package, ideally.
Wonder who's going to be drier, James or Ian?
James.
One and two. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah.
I think it's like with Ian, he's actually got almost in a way like a pretty boy physique for a mass monster, just because of how tight his waist is and how he's set up. Whereas James is at a point now where he's just a gorilla. Like,
I don't know, man. I think James is still better proportioned than Ian.
I think he's as well proportioned. I'm not saying he's like, you know, way off or anything, but Ian has the waistline, but then there's a extra level of density, I think. That
I think he just looks more mature on James. Like, but then again, why would you throw Diasha? Like, will he be outclassed by these guys?
I think though, because you've got Brandon Curry, you've got Barnack, you've got who else? Hakeem. Besides Hadi and Rami, I think Nathan's got that bubbly black man look, so he's going to be more comparable to them.
It's not like Nathan is like the odd one out in a lineup where he's got a physique that's so different to everyone else look-wise that he'll get pushed to the side. I think that...
What did Nathan's highest place? What was it, 8th? I
think it was 7th.
Yeah.
Was it 7th?
I think so.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting.
That was a couple of years ago. And I think that's when Philippe was knocking about, you know?
Yeah, it's 2018, yeah.
Yeah, so
we've lost a few since then.
Yeah, also gained a few as well.
Yeah, Sean won't be there. Phil won't be there, most likely.
Do you reckon Kai's going to be there?
Couldn't give a shit.
But
really, I just don't care. I fucking couldn't give a shit. If he does the show, he's not going to be top 6 anyway.
Do you not reckon?
No.
Okay. What about you, Jermaine?
I will never say never. As I said, I was like that with the whole Rami thing last year, but then he came and won the Olympics. So
yeah, but Rami's like still a competitive bodybuilder, isn't
he? It's true.
Yeah. He's had a big of a layoff.
Any of the pictures we've seen of Kai are even recent as in the past year. He's still really dangerous, and if he's been away from the stage, making any sort of improvement these past like however many years, even if he's improved by 2%, that's enough to wipe out everyone.
I just feel his strengths and weaknesses 5 to 7 years ago would have only gotten worse. So his waist would have increased in size just through getting older and more food going in and things like that. His arms were never a strong point anyway. Combined with that waist, his arms are going to look pretty shit standing next to Bonak, standing next to Brandon Curry, who's got like a fucking 14-inch waist. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think he adds anything to the show, though.
I think there's a lot of mystery in this year's Olympia. Usually it's been quite predictable. You go, these guys are going to be top 5, whatever. But there's a lot of people, new names. There's a lot of people that haven't been compared with each other before. And you just, anything can happen. I suppose that's what's making it probably the most exciting Mr. Olympia that we've had.
Absolutely.
Really.
I mean,
it's most exciting I can remember
since Phil got his first title.
Yeah.
So it's been a decade since we had a full change of the guard, you know, in terms of competitions.
If you think Rami's going to repeat?
He's just not consistent usually, is he?
I think if he's still got Dennis in his camp and he's around
Dennis and Shad, yeah.
I think that combo is the dream team for him.
Mm.
And most likely, if Rami knows what's good for him, he's not going to just coach hop.
No.
So, I mean, that seems to be the perfect mixture. And if that is like the miracle formula for him, just keep doing that. And if it's the case that he's actually improved 1 or 2%, I mean, he'll probably win again. Realistically,
yeah,
it's hard for him not to win at this point, really.
Also, there's the thing with the Olympia of you have to be significantly, clearly better than the current Mr. Olympia most of the time to knock them off.
I don't know. I thought they sort of got thrown out the window, though, didn't it, when Phil lost?
Yeah.
But bearing in mind, there was arguments for him not necessarily winning some of his other ones before that, you know. Like Sean 1 year came in incredibly good.
Yeah, but it's not Phil Heath, though.
Yeah, I mean, Phil Heath could have won that year, man.
I think so.
Yeah. Especially if you're going body part to body part.
I think bodybuilding as a judge it should just purely be judged on pose for pose. That's it. If you're not, I understand from a viewer's point of view, if you're not looking great in your transitions and things like that, it takes away from overall look of your physique. But if the rest of the whole lineup, not just one individual, is the same, I don't really see why you should be deducted points or whatever for that. Because he won both the back shots by far. Right? Side shots comparable, but Sean didn't have the arms and the hamstring drop.
No. Phil had the side chest.
Yeah.
Sean potentially had the side tricep.
Yeah.
Abs and thighs was definitely Sean's.
Yeah.
Most muscular.
Phil.
Can you really beat Phil on that?
Not really.
The front lat was Sean.
But I wasn't that impressed by Sean's front lat. He's flat across the chest in the shot. His arms aren't that big.
I think
and he had some distension. Everyone was like, his waist is tiny, but he still has a protruding stomach.
I think with that shot, you've got to bear in mind, right, the height difference and also the fact that.
Yeah. I'm just saying the shot's comparable. So.
Because it's in a front lat. At the end of the day, you're looking at your lat width. Phil's
tan with shit as well.
Yeah, and Phil's always had an issue with the front lat shot that. Arguably, because his arms are so big, it pulls away from the flow of the pose.
Yeah,
arguably.
It's the reverse for me.
So I don't know, man. This year's gonna be all over the place. I've got no clue.
Yeah, it could be anyone's.
Who else is gonna qualify in the meantime?
Whoever wins the Arnold, that's it. There's no more show. I wish they'd make the top 3 of the Arnold get qualified, but you know.
I think, who do you reckon the top 3 is going to be?
Who's doing it?
You've got Bonak, you've got Ian Valer, you've got Nick, you've got
Cooper. Is Kim doing it?
I think Keem's doing it. I'm pretty sure Keem's doing it.
I think he's qualified earlier in the season, though.
He has qualified, but all these guys are qualified, really.
Sergio's doing it.
Sergio's doing it.
Yeah.
That's
Cedric's doing it.
Great Arnold's.
Is Cedric doing it?
Yeah.
I mean, it is his show, isn't it, really? So
he's on the list. But as a military man, I wonder if he'll still feel the same about Arnold.
Yeah. Imagine if Arnold comes out to take a picture, he just comes over, sparks Arnold out. So you should punch him. Freedom!
No, I think going off the top of my head, a top 3. Fuck, there's so many people.
I think if we're staying more consistent, Ramy first. I think he could possibly repeat if the cards align in his favour.
Is Ramy's doing the Arnold as well?
No.
Sorry, I'm talking about the O.
Okay.
I think the O, I could see Ramy being first. I think following that, I see potentially, I think possibly Bonac. I don't think Brandon's going to be in the top 3.
What about Hadi?
Hadi, I think will just get out-muscled by a bunch of the new people, actually. I think he might...
Fair enough.
Some steam, unless, of course, his conditioning is just the best in the show, which is possible. I
think Hadi has been overlooked the past couple of years.
I agree. I thought he was the other year. I thought he was overlooked. I had him higher up in that top 3.
He was what? What was he, 4th?
He came 4th last year and 3rd the year before.
Yeah. He was 2nd at the prejudge at the finals last year, right?
He was kind of up there, yeah.
Yeah.
He was sure they put him 2nd for prejudge.
Was he better than Phil Heath last year? No.
I don't know. Like,
I'd have to go back and watch it.
Yeah, it's tricky, man.
It's just some of Phil's shots are so far ahead of other people.
Yeah.
Muscle Ball is really, even it being like not the best version of Phil, his muscle bellies is just there, and it's just back shots as well,
Hadi has everything, but his back's substantially worse than everyone else in the top 5. So where does he go?
I mean, imagine if he's brought it up loads.
Maybe he has.
Imagine. And then obviously
gets you excited.
We've got Flex probably. I think Flex is doing next year, isn't he?
Yeah.
He
can win.
I think from what I've heard,
he can win. Yeah.
He could. If he,
that people think he's really short. Like, I've stood next to him. It's not that short.
He's not. Imagine him at 240 pounds on stage. Jesus Christ. Jeez.
God, that's crazy to think about.
Isn't that a scary thought? Imagine if he becomes the most winningest Mr. Olympia of all time off the back of 12.
I don't think his body will let him go another 10 years, but
no, I think he's breaking down as it is, man.
I mean, he only needs to win 2.
Oh shit! Yeah, combined. Yeah,
technically, he only needs to win 2 to have Olympia titles.
I think Lunsford's wasting his time doing the 212.
I think so, but also he's not able to bring his condition in now. So what's to say you will win?
I think the condition is from forcing the weight too low, the body becoming inflamed, the fact that he's flat as shit, and underfed.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Anyway, this has gone on for like 4.5 hours.
Let's go on to another question because
I'm finished with questions, mate. I ain't got none.
I think I'll probably get another one.
The last one.
Yeah, we'll do a last one.
Fucking 50 episodes. Cheers.
I'll do the one that I saw earlier. I don't know if that's an okay thing to do. I don't know how this person will.
No.
Doing that on the podcast.
No, I don't want to finish with that.
Okay. We've covered that. Sort of stuff. Favorite post-workout meal? I'm talking loads of detail here. Laughing face.
Final thing. On plan or not?
Let's do off plan. I feel like that's more.
Fuck. Well, that's anything, isn't it?
That is anything. That's just
intramuscular triglycerides. Here's a question: what do you think to fat loading?
Interesting. That's something that I need to honestly look and read and explore more before commenting.
Okay.
That is my opinion of that currently.
It seems to be in at the moment.
Seems to be the
That's
thing.
the thing, right?
Although I'm not seeing it bring about any look that's substantially different to a moderate fat and carbohydrate load.
Yeah, I feel like people are doing it because it's a trend, not because it is working for the individual. That's not what bodybuilding is about. It's not a fashion statement. You don't go, oh, that's cool, let's put that in because that's in at the moment. You know, you look what the individual needs and you load them that way. Some people could potentially benefit from fat loading. You know, they could probably sit better with them. They have a better look. Realistically, it's worth trialing out both with an individual and seeing which one is better. Not going, what's popular.
There's no argument. I think it's perfectly reasonable as well to just have a blend of both approaches somewhat, from what I understand. In that at the end of the day, fats will typically hold a look. So why not use fats?
One thing I would say is where it could probably be very beneficial is if the individual has been dieting on a very low fat diet for a sustained period of time. That increase in fats, still in conjunction with carbohydrates, could bring about some fullness that's not been there for fucking 6 to 8 weeks, which is going to hold the look for longer due to the digestive time period and the time of uptake into the muscles, as well as the fact that you've got carbohydrates trickling in throughout the day as well. I think it's best to hold the look, but to me personally, super fat loading by itself, without carbohydrates being there, to me, it just sounds like it's going to wreak havoc on your digestion.
Yeah, and this is why it's worth trialing, man, because you know it's a bit of a gamble. You know,
it's interesting.
I've done keto before. Like I've been there. I've done very high fat diets for an extended period of time, and I was okay on it.
Yeah.
I think that's a context thing for someone prepping. If someone's carbohydrate intake going into a peak week is that low that you're arguably in a state of ketosis or gluconeogenesis through, you know, using other substrates and stuff like that, then I mean, I could see the reasoning and the logic for it there. But I'm also very old-fashioned in what's wrong with, you know, a kilo of carbohydrate.
It all makes sense on paper.
That's it. It's always that.
But I'm not seeing it. But it's only been a thing for a couple of months. So, well, it's only been resurfaced in a couple of months.
Yes.
I like what Jermaine said. I personally, with clients, I like using both. You know, a little bit of carbs, a lot of carbs, moderate amounts of fats. How much depends on the individual. I really like trialing this during the prep, you know, just giving an individual enough time to have these high days, to have this trialed out, because I don't want to be fucking gambling on someone's peak week. You know? It's like, and you could just waste 4 months for someone, 4 or 5 months for someone, because you're just fucking gambling.
Unless the plan is to do 4 shows, one in mind. So I've always had the idea that I'd like to do multiple shows back to back, just to fuck around with the look.
It's worth doing that.
One person that I've had the pleasure of actually talking to in person and kind of getting to know somewhat in from Ultraflex is
what a great friend you are.
Sorry, my mind's gone blank. We'll come back around to that if I remember.
You've got brain freeze from sitting around that fucking campsite all night.
That's it. Yeah, no, man. The pot's gone to the head and seeing these amazing lights in the sky, man. It's the ayahuasca camp I'm at currently in the North Pole. What are you doing, Joe?
Texting the missus.
Oh. We're at that point of the podcast now where you just can't.
No, I'm going to Alton Towers tomorrow.
Oh, so. Good for you, man. You getting
Yes.
meals in there? Huh?
You are?
Getting your meals in? You gonna throw them up while you're there?
Yeah.
Possibly.
Now, this weekend, we're going away, so we're taking her to a little lodge in a place called Henley, which is in Warwickshire.
Very nice.
But this weekend will be the final sort of blowout weekend where we just enjoy spending time together before next week I get back in the gym and start the growth period.
Start the growth period.
Yeah.
Just start the growth.
Start the growth next week.
Start growing, man.
What was you going to say?
You got any interesting things coming up?
You, Jack? Any plans?
Any plans? Well, tonight I'm actually going for a meal out with the missus. Actually,
Oh,
There you go.
yeah. I'm trying to just have a meal out once a week, just so I can spend some time with Mol. I think what's great at the moment is she's really wanted to take bodybuilding serious. She's wanted to get on stage. So we're quite aligned with our goals and what our approach to things. Obviously, we're both in the off season, things like that. So we're quite compatible at the moment, but still just having a night where we're not stuck in the house watching fucking Netflix.
Yeah.
Just chilling out. It's quite nice. You don't have to go out and binge or anything like that. You can still, it's just a change of scenery, I suppose. Yeah. So we're going to go out. But other than that, no crazy plans for me. I might go to a show maybe this weekend or next weekend. I haven't decided. There's the UK the FBA this weekend, isn't there?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there is. And there's the PCA the weekend after.
Indeed. There's a lot of shows currently.
And then the PCA the 17th as well of September.
Yes.
Excellent. I will be trialing out potentially trialing out a fat loading protocol or basically just a curry night at some point this week.
I'm having a curry night Saturday night. So.
I'll come over, man.
But yeah, Friday looks like fish and chips. Saturday looks like curry. So
nice.
But people know me like it's one or the other. There's no in between. Like I just couldn't give a shit sometimes.
Yeah, KFC coming
next season. I'm going to be horrified when I pull up to the PCA show having loaded up on a multani curry and a Peshwari naan.
Oh, the Peshwari naan.
The Peshwari naan.
That's the Diasha approach, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Yeah, man. Shit out all the... Just don't do the Rob Taylor approach.
I mean, at least a little bit of me, possibly a quarter of me is genetic.
Shitting like a falcon, Jermaine.
How did he do? I know he had food poisoning or a virus.
7th or 6th.
Well,
6 or 7th.
For a pro debut, he did very well.
Yeah.
And
considering he lost like 11 pounds of water in 24 hours as well.
Yeah, stuff went wrong and he's still...
That's the approach you should have taken for the 212, really. That's how he was going to make weight if he was going to.
Just eat dodgy food.
Eat shitloads of dodgy food, yeah. Just eat raw chicken.
Move.
Let's wrap up episode 50.
Yeah, let's wrap up. Thank you guys for sticking around with us for 50 fucking episodes. Wow. That's unbelievable. 50 episodes and what, like 44,000 views later.
Yeah, man.
And we're still kicking, just about. Joe's hanging on for dear life, bless him.
I'll be back.
We can rebuild him.
No, I had my infusion the other day, and I'm even better. So
good stuff. Yeah, he's feeling the trend coursing through his veins now.
We can rebuild him.
It's a great feeling.
It's a great. All right. Thank you guys for listening / watching the Off the Script podcast, and we'll see you again next time for episode 51.
Subscribe, guys. Come on. Do your bit.
Subscribe to Jack as well.
Indeed. Ta-ta, folks.